business owner falls behind on merchant cash advance payments, desperation sets in fast. But not every solution is what it seems, and choosing the wrong one could cost you your business. According to the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, many debt settlement firms use deceptive marketing, promising massive savings while failing to deliver real relief. An FTC official referred to some debt relief operators as legal loan sharks, who take advantage of businesses in crisis. As reported in the ABF Journal, business owners who turn to debt settlement firms often find themselves trapped in a cycle of worsening debt and financial instability. Today, two types of business debt relief schemes dominate the market. Both are aggressively marketed, both sound like lifelines, but both can leave your business and your future in ruins. The first so-called debt relief scheme is what we call stall and save. It's based on the old consumer debt playbook, but it's incredibly dangerous for businesses. Here's how it works. You're told to stop paying your MCA lenders. You're told to save toward a future settlement. And you're charged massive upfront fees, often 15 to 20% of your enrolled debt, before anyone even contacts your creditors. Then every month, you pay into an escrow account controlled by the settlement firm. Meanwhile, creditors grow impatient, penalties stack up, lawsuits get filed. And your bank accounts? They're frozen before you even realize you've been sued. Here's what really happens if you stop paying your MCA creditors. Within 14 days, late fees and penalties begin to stack up. Within 30 days, your MCA lenders accelerate the full debt balance. What that means is they want the full balance owed plus their outrageous fees. Within 60 days, lawsuits begin and bank accounts are frozen. Within 90 days, those bank accounts are swept and vendor and client relationships begin to collapse. And then within 120 days, your business may no longer be salvageable. And the costs? Let's say you enroll $100,000 in MCA debt. Here's what a stall and save program might actually cost. First, they will charge you an upfront enrollment fee, often up to 20% of the enrolled debt. That's $20,000 paid to the debt relief firm before any negotiations have happened at all. Then, they charge a monthly program or administrative fee, up to $1,000 a month, which just drains cash flow while your creditors go unpaid. Then many firms add in a success fee, which is 35% of the negotiated savings. This is applied even if the creditors settle for terms that you can't afford. So in this example, say you settle for a $25,000 reduction. They will add $8,750 in fees that are payable before the creditors are paid, even if you can't afford it, on top of the administrative fees and on top of the enrollment fee. Next, many firms add on an extension fee, which is 1% a month of the enrolled debt, and it's charged over the term of the settlement. So in this case, if we settle this over 3 years, you will be charged an additional $36,000 on top of the success fee, on top of the administrative fee, and on top of the enrollment fee. Next, many of these firms charge an inactive debt fee, which can be up to 35% of the debt enrolled. In this example, that's another $35,000 you pay in fees, even if the firm never contacts a single creditor. These inactive debt fees reward these so-called relief firms for doing nothing at all. Next, many of these firms charge an early termination fee, which is 2% a month of the unpaid balance, which basically punishes a business for trying to leave the program. Say, for example, you're in this program for 12 months, and the only thing that they've done is got lawsuits and judgments against you, and you decide to leave, they will charge you $24,000 just to exit their program on top of all the other fees they've already charged you. So your total potential cost for enrolling $100,000 in debt could be over $60,000 before any creditor is actually paid. The longer you stay stuck in their program, the more money they make, and the closer your business moves towards collapse. Debt settlement companies market themselves as a lifeline, but their approach typically follows the same predictable and risky formula. There's a new debt relief scheme chasing business owners all over the internet. We call it the 80% payment reduction pitch. Like the stall and save tactics some companies promote, the payment reduction pitch sounds great, but it's incredibly dangerous and leaves your entire business at risk. It promises to cut your payments by up to 80% through direct, immediate negotiations. And yes, some MCA lenders may agree to modify your payments, but here's the risk they don't tell you. This entire strategy assumes every lender will cooperate. If even one MCA lender says no, they can issue a UCC 9406 notice, which redirects your customers' payments away from you and straight to the lender. In plain English, your customers are told your receivables now belong to the MCA. Confused and scared, most stop paying altogether. And just like that, your cash flow disappears overnight. Payroll, rent, vendors, they're done. There's no funds to pay them. The bottom line, these firms have no real structural defense, no protection if negotiations fail, no contingency plan if your receivables are attacked, no insulation for your cash flow or operating accounts. They gamble with your business's survival, and when that gamble doesn't pay off, you're the one who loses everything. At Rise Alliance, we know cash flow relief alone isn't enough. Negotiation alone isn't enough. And stopping your payments to your creditors is a recipe for disaster. That's why we built the Rise program. Restructure, insulate, strategize, and emerge. First, we restructure. We negotiate directly with your creditors, but we also build structural safeguards like Article 9 restructurings to protect you if any creditor refuses. Next, we insulate. We protect your operating accounts, your receivables, so one aggressive move can't cripple your business. Next, we strategize. We prepare you for real financing, not just short-term fixes, so you can refinance out of predatory debt entirely. And finally, we help you emerge. We stay by your side through the full recovery, tracking KPIs, strengthening your operations, and rebuilding a sustainable future. But the name Rise Alliance means something more. We're not just a program. We're part of a national network of commercial lenders, restructuring attorneys, and working capital providers, all aligned with one mission: to preserve business value and resolve distress the right way. As a subsidiary of Second Wind Consultants, the nation's leading small business restructuring firm, we bring nearly 2 decades of experience and infrastructure to every engagement. It's the largest alliance of its kind, giving you access to coordinated expertise and resources most small businesses have never had before. We don't gamble with your survival. We build the way out. You're not alone, and you're not out of options. But you only get one shot to choose the right path. Make sure it's one that protects your business, not one that gambles with it.